Hey, you're back. I'm back. It's episode 21 of Benny Bell Rocks. Woo! All right, we're going to get right into it. I said that I would do some gear review next, and so today we are going to check out my Boss Katana Gen 3 100 watt. This thing is awesome. I know you can't see it right now, so let me grab you here and we're side. Woo! All right. Check it out. This is a nice compact unit. We're going to show you some of the features up here. There are, oh, let's turn it on. There we go. Yeah. All right. We got 6 different amp models here. Okay. And the new thing with the Gen 3 is this brown channel. That's my favorite, being a metal guy, but you can see there's lead, crunch, push, clean, and acoustic. Then there's also variations. You can have it on or off, and so each of these channels kind of has a different sound based on if you're using the variation or not. Standard gain and volume controls, right? You're always going to see those. We've got an equalizer here. I'll get in a little closer even. Bass, middle, treble, fantastic. And then you've got this contour button. And so you can see, I don't know if you can tell the difference in the colors there, but we should have, that's off. We've got green, that's red, and that's like an orange version. So you can choose kind of, you know, how you want your sound to be based on these different contours. Over here we've got some built-in effects, and this is just a small smattering here, but we've got a booster controlled by, this is actually, this moves, here we go, there you can see that. All right, and so there's that. The modulation is then controlled by the one on top, and you can see now that I turned it, the light comes on, and go back to off, and it's off. Again, you can switch through different modes on these so that you have kind of different sounds. Again, we've got orange, red, green for all of these, right? And so we've got these effects can be programmed. We've got delay, we've got reverb. You can control, you know, the amount in here. This tap button, to be honest, I haven't used it much. I believe it has to do with the delay and how long the delay is, but I just don't know all the features yet. Sorry, guys. Okay, and then over here, this is kind of fun. We've got the tone setting. We can change the presence of the sound. This is the master volume level. This is typically what I use to kind of turn the amp up and down. I leave the gain and volume over here. I just leave that right where it is, and then I just use the master volume over here. There's a solo boost. If you turn that on, your amp gets really loud. That's super fun. And then notice that even though this is a solid body, solid state amp, I mean, it has an attenuator on it, guys. This is awesome. It has a standby mode where your amp will be on and just kind of waiting for you to take it out of standby. We can run it at 1/2 watt, which is what I do when I'm at my house and I don't want to disturb my family with all of my crazy heavy metal stuff. I just run it at 1/2 watt, no problem. Then when it says half over here for this power control, that's running at 50 watts. Okay, and 50 watts is perfect for band practice. It can get really, really loud, no problem. Then where it says max, I'm not going to turn it up to that right now because my guitar is sitting really close to this and it's going to blow us all out. But that means when you run it at max, you're operating at 100 watts. Super awesome for gigging. Super fantastic. Very, very loud. We've also got a couple features up here. Note the cab resonance. You can change it to have a vintage cab sound, a modern cab sound, or a deep cab sound. I think I typically just kind of keep it at modern, but it always depends on what you're playing, right? Lastly, note these tone setting here, and we've got channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and panel. And so what you can do is, as you're setting up your sound on your panel and you want it to sound a certain way, you get your sound, you get your tone, and you're like, man, that's it, I love that tone. You just come over here and you hit this little button and hold it down, and it'll kind of blink at you, and it will save that tone in that channel for you. And so you can see, you can save 4 different presets, and then you can have the panel where it will just play the sound that you have set up currently on the panel of the amp. But when you save these tone settings, unless you resave it, if you change any of these settings, it will not save. So you have to save it every time if you change your tone. So you can tweak it a little bit and kind of do what you need to do. All right, let's check out the back of this thing real quick. And guys, this is going to be like a 2-part video, maybe even 3 parts, because there's so much going on with this, and I don't want to make like a 30-minute video. But you should see the back of this too, because there's lots of cool features. I mean, you can see the speaker is pretty cool, right? Katana, it's a custom speaker, awesome. All right, we've got some jacks here in the back. We've got the foot control for the GAFC foot switch, which I'm going to cover in another, the second part, I think, to this, because like I said, so many cool features. You can plug in an expression pedal. Notice that I don't have one plugged in because I don't really use one, but lots of people do. Maybe someday I will. We've got a USB stereo record out. So this is fantastic. You can take a USB-C, plug it directly into your USB-C plug on like your laptop, and then you can run the Boss Tone Studio. And then I'm going to talk about that along with that foot expression pedal next time, because they kind of go together. And it's also really nice because if you've got like a interface where you're recording, you can use that USB-C to connect it directly to that interface too, and it makes it really nice. All right, some other features. We've got an effect loop built in with a send and return. That's pretty standard. The stereo expand, you can actually get another Boss Katana and use the line out, and you can connect 2 of these and run them in stereo, which is super awesome. You got a power amp in case you need to add some more power to it. We've got stereo headphone jack and a auxiliary in jack. So, you know, if you want to party and play some music on your cell phone and, you know, blast it through your Katana, you can do so. This little part here, this is really cool. You can see this is a jack for a, I'll take this out, for a Bluetooth piece. And I don't have the Bluetooth adapter, but if you do, you can then connect your amp kind of to your phone and use the Tone Studio that way. And it's really cool what you can do with the Tone Studio. All right, let's flip you. Whoa, that was fun. Flip mode's the greatest, right? Okay, all right, so let's set you back down. Let's get you over here. And I'm sure you want to hear what this actually sounds like. And just so that you don't think I'm messing with you, we do have, it's just the amp here and the guitar, and I just moved you over here, okay? All right, that might be too much excitement for you. Settle down, holy cow. All right, let's grab this thing and I'll run you through kind of some of the sounds here. And let's see, I've got it on that brown channel right now. I really don't leave that, being that that's my favorite and I'm playing metal. It's pretty much just always on that brown cabinet voicing. And check it out. This is what it sounds like. And that's with the cabinet setting on that modern. I'm going to change that one too. I'm going to switch that over to vintage, and this is still on the brown setting, and check out what it does to the sound. All right. Sometimes these tone changes are really subtle. For me, I couldn't hear a huge difference in that. It seemed a little thinner. Let's try it on the deep setting and see if that's any different. I feel like I did hear a big difference between the vintage and that deep setting. I like that deep setting. I think I'm going to keep it there for a while. We'll leave it there for now, and then I'm going to move the amp variation down to lead, and let's check out that sound. All right, that's kind of cool. Not quite as much punch as the brown in my opinion, and that's fine. It all, different styles. I'm moving it now down to the crunch. Right, so we've gone from brown to lead. Now this is crunch. All right, cool. If you do like maybe like a rock style, that could be a really fun one. Not quite heavy enough for me with my metal tones. Okay, this one is called Pushed. Let's check that out. Wow, that one is very different from the last one. So that's kind of cool. I think it's great to have lots of different tone options. Okay, let's try this one. What does that say? Clean. I don't know what that means. Clean? That's not a word that's familiar to me. I really don't understand, but I'll play it on this clean channel for you anyways, whatever that is. That's probably why I don't know what that channel is or what that word means. All right, maybe you like the sound of that, but that's not how I like my guitar. Okay, and then lastly, this is the acoustic setting. Interesting. Okay, so that took us through kind of all those different tones. I can, again, change those cabinet settings, and that's going to change the sound of those tones. I can click on the variation and change the variation, and that's going to change the sound of those tones. I can hit the equalizer button and change the contour of the equalization, and that's going to change the tones. I can add effects to the tones. And this is all just the basic stuff that you can do just on the amp itself. And so my heater is kicking in, which is going to affect how things sound. So this is actually a perfect time for me to end part 1 of this video. And what we'll do in part 2 next time is we're going to take a look at this magic foot switch that really unlocks all of the features of this Boss Katana Gen 3 100 watt, which I just absolutely love because it's so versatile. And there's so many more cool things for me to talk about, but this video is getting really long and your attention is probably wandering away, so we're going to call it good for now. We'll see you probably next week for the next part here, and we'll definitely see you on Wednesday for the next short. So I hope you're having a great one today, and I hope you have a great one tomorrow. Peace.